Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to visit this morning and to tour your facility. Would you mind to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is John Minton. I'm the principal of Elizabethton High School.
If you wouldn't mind, give us a little bit of a snapshot of the student body, the overall population of Elizabethton High School.
Sure. We average anywhere from around 850 to 860 students annually. We serve students both within the Elizabethton city limits and also within Carter County as well. We have tuition-paying students who are part of a tuition-free zone, then also students who are resident students of Elizabethton. We offer various opportunities as far as dual enrollment and opportunities for students. So we have local and regional partners. As you well know, Northeast State is one of those. Our local Tennessee College for Applied Technology, and also some of our regional four-year universities as well. So we have some very unique programs that are just available at Elizabethton. We get the most out of our people for the size of the population here in our town, the number of faculty members we have, the number of students we have, both athletically with academics, CTE, and the arts. We offer as much as we possibly can, and we're proud of it.
Okay. And of those 850 students, we share some as a result of our partnership, our dual enrollment programming. How do you, or what strategies, procedures do you have in place to ensure the safety and security of the students when they're on campus, either inside or outside the building?
Well, I'll highlight a couple things. One of those is that we have a full-time school resource officer that's on our campus during times when students are present. So we partner with our local police department to make that opportunity available. It's very helpful. We also have just recently updated our camera security system. We've partnered with a company called Elizabethton Control Center Client that offers some high-definition cameras and some really up-to-date technology to be able to track and trace people when they're on campus and when they're here. So that's happened recently. And we're also in the construction right now. We're about a month away from opening our new front office, which has 2 access control points so that we can just better control the traffic inside and outside the school.
And so to gain entry, I had to push a button, identify myself, come in, photo ID. I'm assuming that applies to everybody, same process, no one enters without it.
Yeah, that's correct. We also use a system called Raptor that screens people when they come in. And one of the reasons that we're updating our facilities to have a closer, what we would call a harder entrance, so that we can have a smaller amount of time and less distance between when people access the building and get to the main office. So right now, the main office is a good distance from when you actually buzz into the facility. It's just right over your left shoulder actually. Once that's completed, people will be entering right behind the door, and they'll only be able to come past with 2 access controls and also have an opportunity to sign in and be escorted throughout the building wherever they need to go.
Okay. We've been talking safety and security. What about protecting the health of the high school students? What have you had to incorporate since COVID?
Well, of course, we have a full-time nurse that has taken on quite a different role lately, just making sure that we're screening and doing taking on appropriate protocols when it comes to screening students for COVID. When people call in and are experiencing symptoms, we partner, of course, with our local health department. We have a strong relationship with them. We have a full-time registered nurse that works for our system, who manages all of our local nurses at each of the facilities, just to make sure that, more than anything, that our parents and our community are advised and are well aware of what protocols that we have in place specifically now, about what it means to come to school well, about how to get well, and how to get those resources at our local health department if they don't have access to them.
Let's completely change subjects and talk technology.
Okay.
Tell us about the technology you have available for students to use.
Well, that's changed. It's about to change again. Because out of necessity, in the spring, when we went to a fully remote schedule, just like a lot of systems around the country and around the world did, we realized that there was a higher need for technology and a higher demand than there ever has been. And so some of the policies that we've changed lately since we started back in traditional school is to allow students to bring their own devices to school, obviously have access to the internet while on campus. We just opened up just last week outdoor Wi-Fi connection hotspots for our families to be able to get access after hours. We've used some of our CARES Act money that came as a result of COVID from the federal government to secure hotspots and also devices for each student so that we'll be fully one-to-one. We're still awaiting on some of those to come in. We had a pretty healthy ratio of being able to access and get students access to devices while they were on campus before that, but now we see a need to make sure that everyone has access to the internet, has access to a device, and that our teachers are well trained on a learning management system so that when students are either here or they're at home, the homework or whether they're participating in a remote day like yesterday on Wednesdays, that they've got everything that they need.
Okay. And it sounds like that you have appropriate methods and policies and procedures to ensure that technology stays current.
Yes.
When there are IT issues, who handles those?
Well, we partner with an organization. We won a competition 3 years ago, and we partnered with an organization called XQ. They're a grant funding body. We won a challenge on how to rethink high school. So some of our students and a couple of our faculty members put together just a plan for what high school would look like, both incorporating our community and how that would look outside of the school building. And so with some of that grant funding, part of that is just need-based. When we see a need, we write certain things within that grant to try to produce things for the following year, because we want to be able to make sure we're continuing on a positive path. One of those things that we did this year was we wrote an instructional technology coordinator position into that grant. We were able to hire that over the summer, and it couldn't have came at a better time. Mr. Phil Ledford, who's a teacher in our system for several years, came over to us here at the high school. He's the instructional technology coordinator. He does everything from making sure that when physical devices come in, that they're going to be coded accurately, that students have access. He maintains the list. He also does professional development for teachers. He meets with them during their planning time when they need support, if they have questions. We've got a professional development on November 2nd coming up, so that all of our teachers in the system will have access to the things that they need in order to just make technology and teaching come together and make it a better experience for everybody.
Okay. Now, if I am a dual enrollment student and I am using a piece of Elizabethton High School owned equipment and have an issue with that, what happens?
Same thing. We treat them just like any other student, of course. All of our students who have access, both personal devices are treated just a bit different, but any device that we fund here at the school that we purchase with school money, or if it's a dual enrollment student, anyone who's directly tied with Elizabethton gets support directly from our instructional technology coordinator, our technology department, or our media specialist, depending on what the need is.
All right, thank you. If we could, we'd next like to see the administrative offices, visit the counseling area, the counselors, check out the library and the classrooms that our dual enrollment students use.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We'll check it out. Our offices in here include our school registrar, our school bookkeeper, our assistant principals, and the principal's office. Sorry. Going through. This is our assistant principal's office, and then the principal's office. And right through here will be counseling.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to visit with you this morning. I have just a few questions.
Okay.
I'd like to begin by asking you to introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Melanie Hartley. I'm the school counselor.
And I'm Jenny Wetzel. I'm the counseling secretary.
Okay. My first question relates to the processes you follow in working with the college's personnel to determine the classes to be offered to Elizabethton High School students.
Okay. I would say one of the first steps we take is to actually try to register the students. We'll give them a registration packet, and we give them several choices of classes that they would like to take through Northeast State and the dual enrollment. So a lot of times we'll look and see what the numbers are. Maybe if we're given an option of we can offer one class during this period or we can offer another class, we'll see which one is wanted the most. And then we work with Shelby and Jackie to make sure those classes are offered. That's one way that we do that.
Yeah, we're the liaison basically between our administration and the dual enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we generally do is take what the administration is saying they might like to offer.
Yes.
And then go with Shelby and say, hey, we're looking at maybe a psychology this year. Can we offer that too, along with our Brit Lit or those kind of things? And then we get with Shelby and she's like, I think that'll work, and let me check. And so we work directly with Shelby, and she's been wonderful.
Yes,
she's helped us for years.
Yes,
so.
she has.
So Shelby then is your primary contact. She
has
primary
been,
dual
yes.
enrollment contact with Northeast State. Let's talk about the types of support services that you provide students here at Elizabeth. What types of services are available to them as far as advising, counseling? What do you do for them?
Oh gosh, well we do offer several things. Of course, the students are able to come to the counseling office anytime they need. They can walk in, a student can ask to come in on their own, a teacher can send them, but we help them with anything that we can up here. We also have a nice longer advisor that comes, and he's a college access advisor. His name is Andrew Gray, and he helps with college applications and dual enrollment grants and FAFSA and Tennessee Promise. So we have all of those supports here in our office. And then I would say that the Northeast State teachers have been really nice about helping our students as well. They'll give them after school hours to contact them and for tutoring and things like that. So I think that's been a big help to our students from dual enrollment.
Okay, you mentioned tutoring, so
Yes.
there's tutoring available to the dual enrollment students through their faculty member. There's tutoring available to dual enrollment students in other ways.
Here in the building, yes.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, because they're still an Elizabethton high school student, of course, there's always going to be tutoring available for whatever that is that they need. If they're still in a Comp 1 and 2 class, then they can only use that professor for so long, or that professor, they a lot of times will do after hours with them.
Yes.
And do that, through what, obviously now Zoom, but also our English teachers will not ever say, don't let us help you. They will definitely help them too.
Right.
So.
And we also have math tutoring after school 2 days a week. So they're welcome to stay for that if needed.
Great. So in meeting the students' needs, how do you coordinate with Northeast State personnel to determine who does what, so to speak? If I'm looking for academic advice, who provides that?
On our end, if a student, are you talking about like if a student needs academic advice?
Yes.
Well, we do
We
that
are
a lot.
we are their first
Yes.
contact.
Okay.
And basically, to be honest, it goes back to Shelby McKenzie. She is
Okay.
absolutely wonderful, because if she didn't provide us packets like she does,
Yes.
we wouldn't have half of our answers, our questions answered, because she gives us a packet, lets us know what's going to happen for the rest of the year. We understand it because she comes and explains everything that's going on for that year. We're able to deal with that. We give it to the student, give it to the parent. We have a dual enrollment night that we have, and that we've asked them to be a part of. Shelby comes, Jackie comes, and we have other colleges come too, because we do offer online, like for ETSU places. So they're able to do those things, and we ask those to come and respectively talk. And Shelby's come every time, and she's talked, and we're able to get that information out. And
Yes.
that has helped us tremendously, to be able to talk to the parent.
Yes, it has.
So we've addressed academic advisement, we've addressed tutoring. What about counseling? What if I have a problem where I need a counselor?
Sure.
How does that work?
The students can just come in as needed. We have 2 counselors. I am the counselor for students with last names M through Z. The other counselor is Miss Megan Ellis, and she counsels students last names A through L. We're here every day. The students are, like I said, it's an open door policy. They can come in as needed at any time. We also have a Frontier Health counselor that comes 2 days a week. His name is Rob Miller. So we have several options if the students need personal advising and personal counseling.
Okay. If we could include Shelby, I have a question as it relates to interactions. Of course, I believe there's a memorandum of understanding with the college, and Elizabethton high school students are required to follow Northeast State policies and procedures as it relates to their dual enrollment programming. How do you work together, or what is the process for ensuring that students understand Northeast State's academic calendar, grading policies, refund policies? How are they made aware of that?
That information is in our dual enrollment student handbook, and that's posted on our website, and then it's also given to the dual enrollment instructors, and they post it in their D2L course pages online for students to view.
What about the complaint process? If a student happened to have a complaint related to Northeast State, the instructor, anything related to a complaint, how would that be handled, or how would that be communicated to the student?
They follow the same policy and procedure as any other Northeast State student would follow. They'd be first encouraged to work it out with the individual party, and if they're unsatisfied with the results, then I would encourage them, show them how to fill out the online complaint form that's available on our website 24/7.
Is the process for dual enrollment students here at Elizabethton High School any different from what it would be if they were on the main campus or any other instructional site?
No, it's the very same process.
I know even here, if we do have a student that would ever come in and have an issue with a dual enrollment course, they instantly speak with us, and we let them speak to the administrator, and our first point of contact is Shelby again.
Okay, so it's back to the college then in order to work the college's process.
We really, when we register students, we let them know they're becoming a college student, even if it's just for that period, even though they're in our building still. It's for us, it's great. It's a little bit of hand holding, but it's also a little bit more independence. And Shelby helps us with that so much just by when they register them. She makes sure when they're doing the grant, when they do all those things, that they understand this is the next level, and you're pretty much accepting that. It's what we're supposed to do, isn't it?
Thank you. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
I believe our next stop is the library.
Okay. We can take you there if you need to have us do that.
So here we are in the library at Elizabethton High School to learn a little more about the resources available to dual enrollment students here on campus. Let's meet the librarian. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Dustin Hensley, librarian at Elizabethton High School.
Would you mind to give us a snapshot of the library's holdings overall?
Yes, we have 13,000 titles. That includes physical books, ebooks. We have some ebooks available through our Gale databases. Then we also have some audiobooks.
I believe that the dual enrollment programming here involves primarily general education courses, English comp, statistics, introduction to computers. Do you feel that the library's collection is adequate to support the dual enrollment courses offered here and those course requirements?
Right, I do. For the general education courses, we have databases that the students can use for resources. And for the technology-wise, we have 30 computers that students can use, and we also have printers they can use for printing.
So both on-ground as well as online resources
Yes,
available?
yes.
And I guess those online resources are available 24/7?
Right, and those can be found on the Elizabethton High School website.
Great. And then, of course, physical access to the library. What physical access do students have?
So the library is open every morning at 7:30, which is 20 minutes before school starts, and it is open during lunch and also open till at least 3 o'clock every weekday. 2 days a week it is open till 4:30 for extended hours for students to, if they have assignments or things they need to work on. It's open for that. And if they ever need it past 3 o'clock on a regular day, they can come to me and schedule that.
Okay, great. The Dean of the Library, if you wouldn't mind to join us, the Dean of Northeast State's Library. So if you would, tell me how Northeast State Library staff interacts or coordinates with Elizabethton High School library staff to meet students' needs.
Sure. Two ways. Basically, we have access to a website that is specifically designed to deliver information to the dual enrolled students, faculty, and the high school librarians that lays out all of the different resources and services that we have available from the Northeast State Library. We also coordinate whenever students want materials delivered here. So, for example, on the main campus, we have access to over 70,000 print books and over 7,000 audiovisual items. So any dual enrolled student here or any other site can request materials be delivered here. And so we would coordinate that with the librarian, the delivery and the return.
Okay. What if I'm a faculty member or a student, either one, and I need to learn more about what's available through the library? How do I actually use those materials? How do I know which database to use for my comp essay? What resources are available there?
Well, first, one of the best resources that we have available are our librarians. And so students and faculty can actually contact our librarians primarily through the library website. So they can contact us in many ways. They can call us, they can email us, they can text message us, but they can also online chat with us and video conference with us. And that's how they particularly get help. They can also sign up for appointments, and we can actually come here and work with them one-on-one in person if they so desire.
Do the librarians ever visit classrooms?
The librarians do visit the classrooms. When faculty request library instruction, the librarians will actually come into the classroom and deliver that information literacy class, that whatever the faculty member would desire.
Is that class available in any modality other than on ground?
Yes, we actually deliver it in person, but we also can do it remotely via Zoom. And we actually have pre-recorded library instruction sessions that can be embedded into our learning management system.
Okay. So if I am an Elizabethton High School dual enrollment student, and I'd like to speak with a librarian, a Northeast State librarian, what process would I follow?
Very easy process. You can contact us through the library website, and as I mentioned earlier, they can contact us via telephone, text message, email, through online chat, which is very, very popular. Most of our students contact us through online chat through the website, and then contact us through video, through Zoom.
Okay. And so we've got both physical resources, online resources, both places. Online resources available 24/7.
Absolutely.
Physical resources available during business hours, so to speak. Ability to use materials here, print materials here, or to request print materials from Northeast State's library, which will be sent here for the students.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
I believe our next stop are the classrooms, or our next stop is a classroom.
Hello, I'm Shelby McKenzie. I'm the director of the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program at Northeast State, and I wanted to show you one of the classrooms that we're using this semester for our Composition 1, Composition 2 classes.
Oh, she already is. Yeah. The verbiage, the rhetoric. Our required checks in your syllabus.
Hello, I'm Shelby McKenzie again, the director of the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program at Northeast State. And this is the classroom where we're currently teaching computer applications. This class is not our dual enrollment class, it's a high school class. We just wanted to show you what the classroom looks like.
So, for example, which this has not happened, but if Coca-Cola and Pepsi Beverage decided to join, this would be an example of a horizontal M&A transaction.
I believe we have completed our tour of Elizabethton High School's physical facilities, the spaces and resources used by your dual enrollment students on site. I do have a few further questions. If you would, provide an overview of the current programs and classes offered.
We have the General Education Academic Certificate that students can participate in here. As a part of that, we have the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program, and we teach all of these classes here on site this semester: Composition 1, Composition 2, and Public Speaking. In addition to those classes, the Career and Technical Education Dual Enrollment Program is also represented. They offer computer applications on ground this semester.
What's your overall enrollment then this fall semester?
We have 62 students enrolled here at Elizabethton campus, Elizabethton High School this semester.
Let's talk about faculty. How many faculty serve Elizabethton High School?
We have 4 faculty members teaching on ground this semester. 1 is full-time and 3 are part-time.
Are any of those domiciled here at the high school?
No, they are not.
Is any of the dual enrollment personnel domiciled at the high school?
No, we are not.
What communication channels do you use in your role in working with dual enrollment students?
Sure. We have student interest meetings in preparation for each upcoming academic year. We also have orientations that we host here at the Elizabethton High School campus. We do placement testing here. We send out a welcome letter at the beginning of each semester to students. And then as the semester progresses, if we need to reach out to individual students, we usually do that through the counseling office here at the high school.
So would you consider those your recruitment activities?
We do, yes.
In the counseling office, we spoke a little bit about how the dual enrollment students are made aware of Northeast State policies and procedures. Where and how is that information available to them?
That information is actually available on the Northeast State website. We have a student tab, and that is where the student, the college catalog and the student handbook is located, and all that information is there.
And so it is through that they would find their calendar, refund policy. How would they go about addressing a complaint? Where would they find that resource?
Sure. If a student had a concern or issue, there is a written complaint process where on the website, under the student tab for Northeast State, the students can go onto that website and can make a written complaint.
So do the policies and procedures differ any in relation to how they might apply to dual enrollment students? Any different from any other Northeast State student?
No, it's all the same.
Okay. We don't have a faculty member here on site during this time slot, so let me ask you if you have information related to this or can comment. Specific to learning outcomes, you mentioned we have composition classes, computer classes. Do the expected learning outcomes differ?
No, they do not. These students are held to the same academic standards as any other Northeast State student would be, regardless of location or modality. The instructors that teach these classes use the exact same syllabus, course materials, and grading policies that they would use if they were teaching these classes at any other Northeast State campus.
Okay. So location, modality, it's all the same?
It's all the same.
Tell me about how the college provides for and supports the dual enrollment program. What are the primary administrative and staff positions?
Sure. The University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program has 2 full-time administrative positions. I'm the director of the program, and then there's also a coordinator. In addition to those 2 full-time positions, we have 2 temporary part-time positions who serve as dual enrollment substitutes if our faculty members ever need to be absent. We also have the Career and Technical Education Dual Enrollment Program. There's a director for that program. There's a dual enrollment coordinator, and then there's also a dual credit / LEAP grant coordinator, and both of those positions are grant funded. We also work with various offices on campus that help us support the program. We work frequently with the admissions office, the Advisory Resource Center, the Accessibility Office. And then we also have a multi-campus programs administrative assistant who supports us as needed.
Okay. When we met in the counseling office, the counselors provided an overview of the services they provide to support our dual enrollment students. Can you give me an overview of the support services the college provides to support the dual enrollment students?
Sure. We provide the same services to the dual enrollment students that we provide to students at all Northeast State locations. Things such as academic advising, counseling, tutoring, accessibility services, all of those types of things. What we do is we meet annually with all the high school guidance counselors to make sure they're very well informed about the types of services available and that they know who our staff members are and how to reach us so that we can work with their students.
Okay. We talked a few minutes ago about some of the methods that you use to recruit students in the dual enrollment program. How have those recruitment strategies been affected as a result of COVID, or have they been?
In the spring semester, in preparation for fall, we worked really closely with the Elizabethton High School Counseling Office to get roster information for all the fall classes. And instead of having an in-person orientation session like we normally would have, we contacted each student and sent them detailed application instructions, also included videos for them to watch that told them how to apply to Northeast State, how to apply for the dual enrollment grant, and how to submit their admissions documents. In preparation for spring semester, the counseling office has worked with us to send out a marketing survey to their students. We had pretty good response from this high school. That will help us see if there are students that are still interested in dual enrollment for next semester, and it will also help us prepare for upcoming academic years.
I believe I read that the site that classes have been offered here since 2013. In your experience, and based on any input you've received from faculty or students, do you feel that the physical facilities and resources are adequate?
I do.
Have you administered any student surveys to gather information as to how they feel about their experience as a dual enrollment student?
Dual enrollment students, like all other Northeast State students, are encouraged to participate in the Enrolled Student Satisfaction Survey, which is sent out each fall semester.
Let's say there's a negative result. How would that be addressed? Kathy, could you speak to that? If you find that there's a negative result related to a service that's being provided, what would your next steps be?
Well, our next step would be, of course, to work with the staff to look at the focus of the complaint or the issue, see how we can make some improvements, develop a corrective action plan, and then pilot that the upcoming semester.
Okay. What about students' experiences with faculty? Do students have an opportunity to evaluate faculty?
They do. Dual enrollment students are encouraged to participate in the IDEA evaluation process, which happens towards the end of each semester.
Is that evaluation process any different from the faculty evaluations that would occur on the main campus?
No, it's not.
In relation to faculty satisfaction, do you administer any surveys to gather information as to how faculty feel about their teaching environment?
Dual enrollment faculty, just like all other Northeast State faculty, are encouraged to complete the faculty satisfaction survey, and it includes questions specific to each high school site.
Okay. I believe that concludes my questions. Thank you.